We take you live right now to Queen's Park, where Ontario NDP leader Marit Stiles is speaking to reporters. Let's listen in.
Laid off workers in this province in sectors that are being hit hard by tariffs, like forestry, like the auto sector, manufacturing. They get hit again and again and again. Last week, I asked the Premier and the province to step up and ensure the continuation of the Action Centre at a local in London, where hundreds and hundreds of workers are continuing to be laid off. We managed to get an agreement that Action Centre will continue for another year, so that makes me very happy, and it's good for those workers. But we still haven't heard either whether or not the Premier is going to advocate for the continuation of the EI pilot project that allows and ensures that workers, again, don't actually have to spend all of their severance before they can qualify for EI. So we're going to keep pushing for those things for those workers as long as they're being hit hard by tariffs. And with that, I'm happy to take your questions.
How would you ensure, though, that the severance, tax break severances didn't also help, bank vice presidents who got lavish?
Well, you know what?
You'd have to target it just to workers who got laid off.
Yeah, well, yes. And I think the Prime Minister was a central banker. I'm pretty sure he could figure that out. He managed to find a way to do away with the luxury yacht tax. I feel like this maybe should be a priority for them as well.
With this whole bridge situation, do you think there's something that the Premier should be doing?
Oh my gosh. I was thinking about that. Like, this is, the usual bluster and tantrum from this president as we're heading into negotiations. Lisa Gretzky and I have issued a joint statement. We believe that a move like that would threaten thousands of workers, both American and Canadian, right? It's bad for both of us. So I'm glad the Prime Minister spoke with the President, made our position clear. But look, we paid for that bridge, and the U.S. is supposed to make up their portion of that through tolls. That was the agreement, and they should abide by that agreement. But absolutely, we shouldn't roll over for this president. I mean, we never know what he's going to say tomorrow. I think we have to hold our ground on this one.
What's at stake there if the president does push ahead and doesn't allow that bridge to open on the Michigan side?
Well, thousands of jobs. Thousands of jobs are on the line, absolutely, but not just Canadian jobs. It's American jobs, too, on the line if he decides to close that bridge. And I'll just add one other thing, which is that, I've been to that bridge many times while it was being built. I've spoken to the workers who were building that bridge, the pride that was felt in Windsor by the workers who built that extraordinary bridge and the opportunity that it represented. I think it's going to be heartbreaking for those workers to hear this kind of bluster and threat from this president. But we have to hold the line, because that is an important connection between our countries. And it does represent, if it's shut down, that would be thousands of workers on both sides of the border that will be affected.
The president also talked again about the Ontario ban on American alcohol and the LCBO. Do you think that ban continues to be useful, or is it time maybe to rethink it?
I don't think there's many Canadians out there looking to buy U.S. liquor right now, or American anything. I think the president has underestimated, perhaps, how Canadians will react when we are being attacked. And so as long as he is attacking us, I think Canadians are not interested in buying U.S. liquor. That's what I'm hearing. I don't think there's been any shift there.
So do you think the ban should remain in place, or just allow consumers to kind of decide?
No, absolutely. The ban should remain, 100%. I know, honestly, if it's making him unhappy, he should think about why that is. If he wants to help American producers, then he needs to stop attacking Canada.
What do you make of the Inspector General of Policing's announcement yesterday to very widespread, province-wide probe into anti-corruption measures in every policeman or something?
Well, as I said yesterday, I'm pleased to see the Inspector General conducting that investigation. I think it is absolutely critical that we have some solid recommendations coming forth about how we can prevent this kind of corruption from taking place. And look, I mean, hardworking law enforcement officers all across Ontario are undermined by actions like this, by the corruption of other officers, right? our police depend on that building of public trust. And I think right now, for a lot of Ontarians who are feeling, frankly, unsafe in their communities overwhelmingly, we need to ensure that public trust in our institutions. So I think what has happened undermines that public trust, which is very unfortunate. And I look forward to the recommendations of the Inspector General.
Those recommendations can take a long time to arrive. So do you think in the meantime that there is a reason to call for a public inquiry into Toronto, which is the largest police force?
Well, I certainly think that there is reason to continue. I mean, I know the investigation will be continuing, and it was certainly disturbing, the results that came about. But I also have not heard the Provincial Solicitor General say a single word about this. And I would expect him to come forward and tell us what his thoughts are. Does he have any lessons already that we can learn from this investigation? I assume there are many, and I'm happy to see the Inspector General come forward with an investigation, and I look forward to those recommendations.
Do you think it's appropriate for
a Super Bowl ad? I think I would disclose how much for it would you make of this? Was it beneficial to Ontarians?
What struck me about that ad when I saw it was that they had to use special effects to create the impression that they were building, because none of that is real, because Ontario is not building anything. So, once again, they're just gaslighting Ontarians with this notion that, this is a premier who gets things done. The truth is that this premier can't get things done. He can't build, and he hasn't built a single home in 8 years.
On that point, CNBC released.
We've been listening to Marit Stiles speaking to reporters at Queen's Park.